Marvel H Star Wars. My name is Sean, returning with Brooks.
Hey, everybody. This is part 2 of issue 22.
22.
When we left off, Luke and Leia had just stumbled into a room full of G.I. Joes.
Of elite guardsmen.
I keep calling them G.I. Joes because, they look like G.I. Joe.
They look and dress like G.I. Joes. But they will die in this next scene, I think.
Yeah, because earlier, for those of you that didn't look at issue 21, Luke just massacred a whole room full of them. Yeah. Subconsciously. He wasn't even awake.
He did it in his sleep. He's like, I literally killed like a dozen of you guys in my sleep.
Yeah. And now you're calling me farm boy?
Yeah, you're elite. You didn't even know that I did that.
Why don't you marinate on that for a minute?
Yeah.
Let's go to the screen. Let's see what's what. Ba-boom, ba-boom. See, here we are.
Yep.
We're the Senator's hand-picked elite farm boy. Did you and your friends truly imagine we could be followed on our own territory and never catch on?
A little I did. We've kind of been running reckless through this whole place.
It's like, well, obviously we kind of did, or we wouldn't have been doing it. But
yeah.
Did you really want me to answer that? Was that one of those rhetorical questions? So here we go. Ready? Let's see Luke kill them all in one shot. Why is he not going to the next page?
Because he's like, I'm going to go after. Why is he just with a blast? He does too. Oh my God. What? This is embarrassing.
Oh yeah. God, Luke. He can't even do that in Empire. They're giving him a lot of credit in this issue. Despite the clothes he wears, Luke Skywalker hasn't truly been a farm boy since the Battle of the Death Star.
R2, get out of here with that tape.
And by the time the guards realize they've let appearances deceive them, Luke is rolling and firing.
Boom, down, view.
He just straight up murders them all. Good grief, dude.
This is what we do. This is how we handle things.
He's making it look too easy. Then he is within the bay and back on his feet. Charging up the loading ramp to the docked spacecraft.
Tearing through them like paper.
But in the corridor outside, as Princess Leia moves to help.
Don't rush, Your Highness.
No, this is going to be Grayshade a bit.
Oh, okay.
Don't rush, Your Highness. Since I'm going that way myself, I'll accompany you. That way, you won't have to carry that heavy blaster. I like how
patronizing shit.
I like how smooth he is about things like that.
Don't trouble your pretty little head with that big old gun. Oh, I like that rising sun shot.
Oh yeah, we'll get to it.
Grayshade.
Yes, your escape hasn't proven the inconvenience I feared it would. You've managed to find your way to the very spot I intended to bring you. That ship your gallant young friend seems bent on conquering is my private yacht. Since only my handprints can activate its control locks, let's arrange a truce before he, or more importantly, the craft, is damaged.
In our Senate days, I prided myself on seeing through all your schemes. But right now, I'm quite confused about just what you're after.
Don't worry, Princess. I'm about to explain. And rest assured, it's more despicable and unscrupulous than you usually expect of me.
Oh, that's a relief.
Do we really have to explain, Grayshade?
Interlude.
Oh,
a Star Destroyer class Imperial battle cruiser leaps through hyperspace. Its great wedge shape piercing the Doppler distorted heavens.
That's kind of neat. Doppler distorted heavens.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way of showing hyperspace.
Moving at the urging of one voice, a sinister voice rasping from the confines of a breath mask.
Faster, Wormus. The slightest delay could cost me what I seek.
Come, Lord Vader, be reasonable. My ship is at stake. We're utterly torturing the warp drive now. Like, because we have warp drives in Star Wars ships.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it enough that we're making this mad dash to the wheel on little more than a whim? I mean,
The Force is no whim, Captain Wormus.
I keep wanting to say vermis.
Captain Wormus. And if on our outward journey, I made passing contact with another mind, seemingly capable of evoking it, it's worth a dozen of these vessels to learn who possesses even a touch of this power I thought was mine alone.
Reading Vader kills my voice. That mind was Luke's, as we know from last issue and 18. Thanks, Archie.
Of course,
My accent's terrible. I'm sorry, guys.
of course, you cannot appreciate that power until you experience it.
Vader, no, ow, I can't breathe.
But you can move, Wormus. You can drop to your knees and crawl. Crawl to me. Well done, Captain. You lack the stamina of a Cobarian swamp dog, but I'm certain you can match its unquestioning obedience.
Like, nice dying. What's well done? He just fell.
Vader looks kind of weird here. And these guys look like G.I. Joes too. What?
It's the green they do everybody in.
It's like they're actually those little plastic army men. That's what everyone looks like on these things.
It makes me want to see the original again.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
the
put a
coloring,
shot
you're
up.
Phoning in this coloring one way or the other.
I'll put a shot up on here. Let's see.
Now, onto the wheel. That is the direction my prey headed. That is the first place we'll search. And we won't risk missing him by holding back. Correct, Captain Vermis?
You heard Lord Vader. Speed! More speed!
I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. If I push it any harder, the whole thing will blow.
I cannot give her any more. An interlude in hyperspace ends. Meanwhile, within Simon Grayshade's private yacht, negotiations begin.
I was just about to say, I can't believe they're negotiating. And he's like, I can't believe this.
I can't believe we're even discussing this.
You're young, Skywalker. When you've had my experience, the only astounding thing is how very little astounds you. He's so smug.
I don't intend to ever be like you, Grayshade,
Yeah,
no matter
old.
how much experience I get. Old, yeah. Shows what you know. Don't waste your breath on this slime, princess. We'll take our chances fighting.
What chances, my fiery friend? This ship, this docking bay, is a dead end. Unless you accept my rather generous terms. Luke's like, dead end? How about I just kill everybody on this thing?
Just, like, why did we stop fighting when you walked up? I was literally decimating everybody.
Yeah, I could just walk through the wheel and just take out the whole thing.
Including you. You have a gun. You truly mean it, don't you? You'll defy the Empire, let their scheme be exposed, and my friends go free, all in return for me?
Most men are attracted to what they can't have, Leia Organa. Particularly a man like me, for whom everything else comes easily. Under normal circumstances, as in our Senate days, you'd never give me the time to make you love me.
Jesus.
I'm merely creating circumstances where you can.
This is an uncomfortable early example of something that comes up a lot in the expanded Star Wars stuff. People trying to steal or marry Princess Leia. Like it comes up a lot. So
Well,
it's pretty embarrassing.
I mean, I guess in historical terms, princesses and princes were often courted, for the power and money, if for nothing else.
But Princess Leia was invented to be sort of a subversion of that trope. Like she doesn't just sit around waiting to be rescued. She talks back. She fights for herself. That kind of thing. This idea that everything is tied up in. But if you married me, this will all go away. She's like, yeah, well, I guess.
Well, she's not going to go for it though. That's what makes her different.
We'll see.
They're treating her like the trope, like a princess, but she's like, no, I'm not like that. Even Han and Luke were like that, like princess, and so
fight over.
Yeah,
yeah, it is kind of gross. Like, which one of us do you think could date her? Both? Maybe.
They were different times, okay? And I've actually seen guys have that conversation when I was younger.
We were in college.
Yeah, well, and every time they did that, it was two guys that had zero chance with that girl. it's like I don't know, man. I think you should let me have her. It's like, dude.
Yeah, I don't think dibs comes into play here, guys.
Yeah, she's. I appreciate your optimism. I really do. This ship can take us to places in this galaxy where they've never heard of the Empire or the Rebel Alliance. In space, no one can hear you scream.
I know.
The stolen... the implication. That's what this is.
That's exactly what this is.
Well, dude, think about it. She's out in the middle of nowhere with some dude she barely knows. You know, she looks around her. What does she see? Nothing but open ocean. There's nowhere for me to run. What am I going to do? Say no?
Okay, that seems really dark.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think I am.
Yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
The stolen treasure, just loaded aboard, will assure we never want for a thing. It will be awkward at first,
it's awkward
but time
now,
will
dude.
change that.
Wish you weren't so fucking awkward, bud.
Yeah. Time will change that. Time, and you'll promise no more escapes.
No! She's not promising anything because I'm getting her out of here right now.
Luke, that's not your decision. It's mine. And if it's not made soon, Princess, some of your companions may not be alive to enjoy any benefit from it.
As communicator screens all over the wheel reflect, the great gladiatorial game is running its course, the number of survivors dwindling.
It was nice of Han to survive long enough just for this moment.
Yeah, what if he turned it on and Han and Chewie were just floating there dead?
It's like pieces.
But
of
what if? Never
Han's
mind.
head just like his severed head just goes right past the camera.
Like, oh my god! Well, there's still other benefits.
Yeah. So okay, Han's fighting. He's got his blaster now. And even though he's still one of them, the skipper of the Millennium Falcon finds he can't rejoice.
Never heard of a tie in one of these games. In fact, I'm sure the betters wouldn't accept it, which means I'd better come up with something brilliant, fast. Because with Chewie putting the finishing touches on that big bruiser below, this is about to become a three-way contest.
Oh, that dude's creepy.
Wing guy, yeah, I want that action figure.
If it weren't for the nose, it wouldn't be so weird, but that nose freaks me out. This Tyloon Night Soarer has reached the same conclusion. And with the stealth and cunning that has made his race famous as assassins. See, he's getting cooler and cooler. They should make an action figure of this guy. He elects to hold back and let his two opponents commit themselves. And Han does, by kicking the body of his recently slain foe into the arena's sole remaining planetoid. Whoa!
Nice. Han commits suicide.
Didn't leave anything to bury. That poor guy's parents. For several instants, smoke, glare, and debris cloud every view screen receiving the closely monitored duel. Then, out of the explosive confusion, swims the determined Han Solo. They're swimming in space again. Headed for his Wookiee friend and first mate.
Chewie, this ain't gonna be easy, pal. But this is the way it's gotta be. There can't be two winners in this so-called game, old buddy. And you stand the best chance of coming out on top against that Night Soarer, particularly since I've taken up the last death trap so he can't trick you into it. Because you're
You big
stupid.
dumb Wookiee.
You idiot. You understand, you big furball? There's no choice. You gotta blast me. Do it fast. Damn it, Chewie, shoot.
They stare. Longtime companions. Inseparable partners. Sharing last unspoken thoughts.
And
They don't
just
look like
blast.
they don't look like they're fond faces. They're
He draws such a mean face on everybody.
well, it's a mean mug situation. Then Chewie does what he has to.
Ow!
So what's happening here? What's the scheme? What's the
Han's
what's,
got a he's got
what's
one
the
of
angle?
those one of those shield plates and then
Under his shirt. I bet you're right.
It doesn't ricochet for some reason, but whatever.
Well, the shirt stops it from ricocheting.
That's what it is.
Within the lounge of Senator Grayshade's space yacht, 3 viewers gasp.
Han!
Leia, I, oops.
Yeah.
I never anticipated this. I thought there'd still be time to.
Don't apologize, Simon. You've won. I can't watch anyone else I care for destroyed. Not after Alderaan. Not after this. You've won. But no one ever gained a more empty and bitter prize.
Boom. It's like, oh, you were always going on and on about Alderaan. My God, it's been like
ages.
3 weeks. God.
Get through it. You didn't even live there. If we hadn't told you about Alderaan, how long would you have taken to even notice?
Like, and in fact, weren't you like on the Death Star watching it happen?
Yeah,
just saying.
Because of you.
Were you there, like on the bridge watching? Pretty suspicious. Don't miss next issue. Flight into Fury. Our senses shattering conclusion. They're going to shatter my senses, man.
Yeah, I don't know. They're playing with my emotions too rough here. This wasn't the end, so I don't know anymore.
I mean, I'm digging this.
Locked in.
I like the hair swished up like this and the big cape thing behind him, the big like collar.
I mean, he's got a little Lando to him. He's got some style.
Oh, he definitely has style. Of everyone we've seen so far, he is definitely the most stylish. God, Luke looks
if
weird.
If they do a Black Series figure of Grayshade, I might want him.
Leia doesn't look. She looks kind of weird too. But look at Luke. His face is like scrunched. The art on this is so inconsistent and weird to me. It's stylish. I like that it's stylish, but I don't know. It's not working for me, man. Well, there you go. Are you tired, man?
I think I had an eyelash.
So I am tired. Tired of Grayshade shenanigans.
Yeah. Tired of you guys toying with my emotions.
Tired of his treachery.
Storyline. Yeah, of all his schemes and treachery.
I wonder if kids reading this actually thought that Han got killed. I'd be pretty upset.
I don't know. I guess if you were real little, you would entertain the notion. Why do it? If not, like there had to be a time in your life where you weren't as cynical to things. Like they wouldn't kill Han in a comic book,
would they? And you're like, they just did. See?
Yeah.
Idiot!
Right here in print.
Yeah, you can't take that back.
Well, then you do think about those stories where they're like, well, they froze him in carbonite in case he didn't come back for the next movie. They would have just left him frozen forever. So it's not that weird.
Yeah. Harrison wanted to die, so they had to be creative about it.
Into Return of the Jedi, and they didn't save Han. They just went on with their business. Kids would have been freaking out. Like, what? Especially when the comic books were like, we're going to just milk that
for 2 years. Yeah.
40 issues, and then it's never resolved. Now you don't have to worry, because now they'll just be like some kind of special novel or comic book graphic novel or something. Any untold story is going to get told in the universe. But when you were kids, you didn't know, and they didn't know. That's what made it the most fun.
I mean, they had what do you call that stuff? Non-movie material. What is that stuff called? Why can't I think of extended universe, expanded universe? They had stuff like that back then. They had books.
Yeah, but you never expected it to cover much more than like a superficial read of the source material. Like there wasn't like, we're going to see the secret history. Like when you were a kid and they went to Boba Fett's planet and they told you a bunch of shit and you're like, oh, wow, this is like this massive like amount of information about the backstory. And later they're like, yeah, none of that actually.
Yeah, those are comic books, people.
Yeah, we didn't pay any attention to what they were saying. I was like, oh, that's disappointing. But that would have been a good lesson to learn when you were a kid, so you didn't grow up being an adult going, well, that's canon and this isn't. It's like, well, it's all fake, isn't it? I mean, I would be an ass, but
that lesson was not learned by anyone.
It's all fiction. Like, I understand where canon is important because there are plot lines you'd like to see them carry on in other materials. And if they declare something non-canon, then they won't. But beyond that, if you liked it and that story is over, nobody's taking that back. It's fine. They have a storyline that we hopefully will get to where they go to like planet Mandalore and have like a whole business with some people who knew Boba Fett and all that.
It's a
And
famous
it's a good story.
It's a famous issue.
It's a great cover. And
Yeah.
it's a good story.
Put that cover on T-shirts. I've seen it.
Yeah, people
I've
think they
seen
got a
it.
Boba Fett shirt, but you don't.
It
It's
looks
not
just like
Boba
them
Fett.
though. In all fairness, same
Well, they
color
all-
scheme
all
and
their
everything.
Outfits look the same. They didn't know, like you could vary. Their take on Mandalorians was very different because there wasn't any established lore for it, except that they had fought in the Clone Wars.
Hmm. And even that is that actually in? That's not in the movies. Like, where did that come
but
from?
it was. We need to get into some Bantha tracks because that's the lore from that comes from when they first, before they invented Boba Fett, they came up with the idea of Imperial shock troopers, and the Boba Fett armor was designed to be Imperial shock trooper armor, and they were supposed to be super stormtroopers. So they had all the gadgets and stuff like that. And the idea of the shock troopers was that they fought the Jedi during the Clone Wars. That's how badass they were. And then later on, they just decided not to do it.
So the Empire
remember
was
why.
in the Clone Wars, I guess, back in the original.
In that concept, yeah, everyone assumed that's what it was. The Clone Wars would be about. But then I think that lore just got kind of muddled when they decided, well, no, that's Boba Fett, and he has this Mandalorian armor, and the Mandalorians sort of inherited some of the original lore that belonged to the shock troopers. And so there was, I remember as a kid, people say the Mandalorians fought the Jedi in the Clone Wars. It's like, there ain't any canon that says that.
Yeah, that's something
But
even when
that's
I was a
kinda
kid,
where all
I'd
that
heard.
stuff comes from.
That's what's weird. It's like, how do I know that?
Because it's a bastardization of that stuff from Bantha Tracks. Somebody just said it somewhere.
You know, say I didn't read Bantha Tracks, but I'd heard
Yeah.
that. It's
So
neat
it
how
just
that kind of
gets
stuff
traveled
happens.
down.
It just
Mhm.
becomes myth and legend.
Becomes its own lore. Yeah, it's kind of fun that way. Because it's not any more fun when someone comes up, well, no, it's actually this. And you're like, that's kind of dumb.
They made an action figure of the prototype Boba
Finn
Fett.
Shisa. Oh, you
When
talking
he's-
about the Shock Trooper one?
Yeah,
all
when he's
white?
just like a white Boba Fett. They made an action figure of that.
That's kind of cool.
It's pretty neat.
You can
I
see
might
the-
have it.
You can see the test footage for that on YouTube.
I know I have the Macquarie prototype action figure of Vader and the Stormtrooper.
Those are really cool.
It's neat because he's got like a Stormtrooper's got like a laser sword and a shield and stuff.
Yeah, those are really fun. And I think they made a Boba Fett from the holiday special with that color
Oh yeah.
scheme
Mhm.
as a figure.
They probably made everything possible as a
Yeah,
figure by
they're
now.
making Jackson, they've run through everything. They're like, we're making a Jackson figure. Well, of course you. But it's still no Hoojibs.
Yeah. No Zeltrons.
Yeah. Do we have to keep? If maybe the further along we get in our show, the further along they'll get in adapting.
We don't even have
those into toys.
no Hedgie. Hedgie? Is that his
No
name?
Hedgie.
No
Yeah.
Hedgie? What's the girl's name?
Amaza.
Amaza. Yeah.
She'd
She'd be a cool looking.
Pretty wild. Yeah.
She's a cool looking figure though. I
it's
mean, her
burlesque.
outfit's a little burlesque, but she'd
What
be pretty
was
cool
it?
looking.
What was the name? The Black Hole Gang.
Oh yeah. See, that's some lore I'd like to see explored. Some of this
Yeah.
stuff I think that Marvel should mine.
This is the
For-
stuff I think that they should put in Mandalorian. Like, these guys should have Mandalorian, it'd be fine. If there was just a hedgehog
Yeah.
in there.
Oh, wouldn't it just be cool if they even just mentioned the Black Hole Gang or something? Just,
Yeah.
I mean, there's some neat lore in the original the Marvel run that I wish they would. I mean, they have what's his name though? They've lifted him out for the new stuff. The bounty hunter, Valence.
Yeah. You could potentially end up seeing someone like Valence in a Mandalorian show.
That'd be pretty awesome.
It'd be fun to see that connective tissue there. But you're not winning any points for me until you break out the bunny. Because then I know you mean business. It's like they've committed.
Yeah, I don't know how you get much deeper than that.
Yeah, I want to see a Hoojib in the Mandalorian. I'm a big fan of Hoojibs, and those still haven't made it back into any level of canon.
I found at a thrift store years ago, like a pile, I'm like 5 or 6, unopened Hoojib, the little record books, the story with the record in it, you know?
Yeah, you should have got them. Those are fun.
I did get some. You kidding? I have them.
Those are cool.
I'll dig them out and show them to you.
I got like 2 of those. Yeah, I used to have one in a frame.
It's kind of weird to think that, you know, that they're that easy to get. Like mine were unopened, so it makes you wonder if there was a warehouse find or something, like someone just found
that's awesome.
You know, cases of that thing somewhere. That happens in comics, which blows my mind.
Those are fun because they didn't do many of those further adventures ones. Technically, they only did 2 of those. One was Planet of the Hoojibs, which was based on a comic book story, and there was another one called Droid World, which is also based on one of the comic book stories. And they're both like little 45 size records with storybooks. But there was another one that was not called Further Adventures, but it was made by Buena Vista, like those 2. And I can't remember what it was called. It was called something like Incident on Ord Mantell or something like that. And it was Brian Daly wrote it, and it was an account of Han Solo going to Ord Mantell and having a run-in with a bounty hunter.
That sounds neat. Actually, I wouldn't mind reading. We should, you know, maybe we can track those down.
I have them.
Read those. Well, yeah, there you go. That'd be kind of
there's no storybook for. The only thing that's weird about those, and I guess it's not a problem, but they have storybooks, but they're fully produced audio adventures, so it'd be weird for us to read the book and cover it.
Yeah,
it's already an audio adventure.
We could just play the audio and show the pictures. Just rip it off.
We just come up and talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like, bad move, Cliff.
Stop the record.
Who knows? People watch this show. So I don't know what people are into. I would recommend, sometimes you used to be able to find that stuff on YouTube where people would play it and show the pictures and stuff. You could probably find it there, but they're fun. I love those little records.
I don't know. I'm sure
it's a cassette of Hoojibs when I was a kid. I got the records now because it's better quality, but I still have the little cassette in a glass case just because it's a little audio cassette with a picture of a Hoojib on it. That's the one I had when I was a kid. They're fun though. I love those.
I'll dig that stuff up, and next time we do a show and tell, or maybe just next time we do an episode, I'll bring them out.
Yeah, if we do a show and tell, because I've got Droid World and the Ord Mantell one somewhere with my records. So
well, let's do that.
I have the old Hobbit one with my records. Remember those little? The Star Wars ones were fun because they always had the R2D2 beam.
Yeah.
So you know to turn the page. That's good stuff.
Takes me back. All right, everyone. Smash that button. I don't know who invented smash that subscribe button, but my God, I want to. Don't you want to choke them? Don't you just want to choke them?
Click the bell for notifications, I guess, that tell you when we have another episode.
Yeah, I mean, but
just
subscribe.
Yeah,
just subscribe, and it'll pop up on your main page.
They come up to me.
Yeah,
I'm subscribed with my regular account, so I see when the new ones drop. The algorithm's not hurting us that bad.
I can't imagine people are just like, ding, oh, hold up. Whatever I'm doing right now, I'm stopping.
Yeah. But check it out. Well, I understand, like, if you have a lot of subscriptions, maybe, like, having the notifications is helpful because, you know, the algorithm will recommend some things more than others. And I'm sure we're not going to be at the top of that list, but you seem to be finding them okay. So just subscribe if you enjoy it. Like the videos, post us a comment, let us know what you think.
Yeah, comments.
What you'd like to hear about.
That's what we love.
And if you have some time, go also on the channel, it's the TV at My Dinner podcast, where we just randomly talk about stuff kind of like we're doing right now. And that's just, sometimes it's Star Wars related stuff, often it is not. So just whatever you want to see, go out there on the channel and look for that stuff. So that's out there.
And there's other people on that show, not just the two of us. So you guys can
a broad variety of people sometimes on the TV at My Dinner. And check out TV at My Dinner on Facebook if you like, it's out there, and on Twitter. And check out tv8mydinner.com, which will feature all of this kind of content, including other stuff that may or may not even be on YouTube. All that stuff you can springboard off of tv8mydinner.com to see that, if that's convenient for you. So there you go. That's all out there. But just check us out next time, and we hope you keep enjoying the show.
Yep, issue 23 coming up.
Coming up.
Magic number. Okay, guys. Thanks. I'll see you soon. My name's Brooks.
I'm Sean.
Bye-bye.
Snoop.